Hello everyone, welcome back to Code Enzyme, and in this video I will try to finish up at least a ping pong bot. So what we are going to do is we are going to set up a webhook, and using that webhook we will try to reply from the bot. Okay, so what do we have currently? If I open up my Telegram, uh, so we have this. Now what can we do? So now one way is that whenever someone messages this bot, like okay, this what is going to happen is, like, there are two kinds of architecture we can follow. One is without using webhooks. So if you know what a webhook is, you can skip ahead, but if not, I'm just going to vaguely try to explain what a webhook actually is. So one is we will have some code running on our local server. So this is local code, right? So we have some local code which is running on our personal computer, and this, and now here we have Telegram. Okay, so here we have Telegram, and now another user comes here. So let's say we have a user and they send some kind of message to Telegram. Okay, now Telegram knows that a new message has come. So what it will do is, there is some kind of permanent connection between these two. Okay, something like a web socket, like that. Or another thing that we can do is, we can have this code pinging Telegram that is there a new message, like every second or every zero point 0.5 second. Our code is asking Telegram if to my bot, like this Telegram is basically listening to the bot. Okay, so we are constantly asking Telegram that is there a new message um, in the bot or not. So if Telegram says that okay, there is a new message, then we can simply say okay. If Telegram says that okay, we have a new message, then what we are going to do is we are going to process the new message, and then we are going to process this new message, and then the Telegram will reply to this new user. Okay, so here we get the message, and here we have a reply, right? Sorry about that, but okay, we can shift it. Yeah, so something like this. But if in this case we there are some disadvantage, like we have to constantly run our code, right? And this is basically costing us a lot of bandwidth. Like if we are going to host it, our computers are going to run 24 into 7, right? Computers are running 24 into 7, and this is going to cost very much, even for small number of users. So if this bot is not getting used 24 into 7, there is no point in pinging the Telegram server 24 into 7, right? So what we are going to do is that we are not going to follow this approach, because whenever someone creates a bot, they are generally not getting used by millions of users, right? This approach is optimal only when we have a lot of users, then we can follow this, but in general it is not optimal to use this kind of architecture. So to solve this problem, that we do not want to run our computers 24 into 7, we can use something called webhooks. Okay, so we are going to use something called webhook. Okay, so how does this work? So let's say we have a local computer. Okay, which is running our code on which is running on our code on a port. Okay, so let's say that port is 3000, because it is a Next.js application. Okay, and now what I will do is I will expose this port using a local tunnel. Okay, So I'm going to use a local tunnel, and I'm going to expose this port to a URL. Okay, so this will send me a temporary URL. So now I have this temporary URL of my API. Okay, and now we also have Telegram. I think we can copy this part from here. Okay, so now what happens when a user messages Telegram? Telegram will ping this URL. Like I will set a webhook here and tell Telegram that whenever a user pings you, you will ping this temporary URL. Okay, uh, and it will have a Next.js API that can be hosted on Vercel or Amazon AWS for free, and which is basically on serverless stack. Okay, so since this is running on serverless, it will not cost me anything significant. So, and it will be very fast, it will not be too slow. It is actually the optimal way. So Telegram will tell the webhook that okay, using a post request, this will generally be a post request only. So this is a post request, and it will tell me that okay, a new message has come, and now this code will process the message, right? So let's say we have here, and it is going to process the message, and once it processes it, it is going to send the message to the user directly. Okay, like that. So something this kind of architecture is being followed here when we are using webhooks. So I hope you were able to understand this. Now I will try to do this in code. Okay, so what do we have here? We have this nice code where I left. So I hope you have your environment variable set up and everything. Now let's try to set up the webhook. So first step was, I mean, if you saw, the first step was to create okay, sorry. First step is to run this code locally on port 3000. For that we can simply do sudo npm run dev. So this is going to run my Next.js code on port 3000. You can try opening this up and it will show you. I think yeah, so our code is running. Now I'm going to create an API somewhere here. Okay, or let's not create an API right now. Let's first create the local tunnel. Now to create local tunnel, we can use various softwares, like we have ngrok, local tunnel, and tunnel mole. You can use any of these, but I prefer tunnel mole, so I am going to use tunnel mole. So you can just, if you want to use tunnel mole, you can just search for tunnel mole here and go to this first link, and you can actually simply install it using npm i-g tunnel mole. So if you have npm installed, which obviously you do, so you can use this command to install tunnel mole. So once you have done this, tunnel mole will be installed in your computer and it will be automatically added to your path. So now once you have this running, I will create a new terminal, and in here I will say okay, tunnel mole, I think it was tmole, sorry, the shorthand was tmole 3000 because I want to expose my port 3000. Okay, and when I press enter, this will give me a temporary URL. So this is not actually the actual URL, this is giving me a temporary URL. So I can send this URL to anyone around the world, and temporarily they can they can have access to my locally running code on port 3000. Okay, so if I go to this URL, you should be able to see the Next.js website that I have hosted on my port 3000. So let it load up, and yes, you can see. And actually in this terminal you should be able to see that someone made a get request here, right? I mean, this is the one. Okay, so this URL is now working. Now we just need to tell the Telegram, we need to make this connection. Now we want to tell the Telegram that okay, use this for your webhook now. So how can we do it? Now let's search for Telegram API, and I should be able to find something there. So we are done with this bot father step. Gateway API, I think there was something called webhooks. Okay, Telegram bots, webhook. Okay, we don't have it here. Telegram bot API. Okay, sorry, it was not Telegram API, it should be Telegram bot API. And there was something, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we have webhooks here. And how do I set webhooks? Okay. Okay, so we have a set webhook command, and here we have to give a URL. And what is the... I mean, I have done this before, so it is I can find it faster. But if you are doing it for the first time, you should actually go ahead and read your things like this. Okay, so it is saying that, okay, first thing I have to do is authorize by bot. Each bot is given a unique authentication token, which is when it is created. So I do have the token in my environment, as you can see here, right? So we do have a bot token here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an environment. So you can use Thunder client. It is a VS Code extension, so you can just search Thunder client here and install it, or you can also use Postman, it's your choice. So you can use that. So first I'm going to create an environment because I don't want to I want to make a simple variable which I can use while making the request. So I don't really need to make a lot of edits while editing the video. So I will just call it YouTube tutorial environment. You don't really need to do this, but yeah. And let's say bot underscore token, and now I will paste my token value here. Okay, so once this is done, I'm going to click on save, and as you can see, it was saved successfully. And let's close this. Okay, so now that we have this set up, let's make a new request, and this is going to be, I think, a get request. I think the type doesn't really matter here, but yeah. Now let's just copy this whole thing, and if I paste it here, I think this is the variable, this part. So what I can do is I can replace it with my bot token that I have in my environment variable, and if I just make a get request, let's see what will come up here. So we have an okay true, the first, this is the name of my bot, this is the username and all things. Okay, so that is good. Now so this is working. Okay, so this URL, the API, Telegram APIs are working, and this is the from where I am reading the documentation. Now okay, I want to set the webhook. So what is the command for that? For long polling, I don't really need a long polling here. I just want to set up the webhook. So I think the proper way of doing this is I just need to send a set webhook here. Now if I click send, so we have this. So webhook is not deleted. Okay, so I just want to send. So I think we have to do it something like this: URL, this URL parameter that we have here, and in here I have to give a value, my webhook URL. Okay, so let's see what was the URL of my tunnel bowl. It was this URL. Now if I click send, what do you think will happen? Okay, let's just try, and it says that the webhook is set. Okay, and now if I do something like, okay, let's try to write some message. What happens on my local server? I get a post request on this route, and it says 200 and it was processed. Okay, now what is happening here is I'm actually getting post request on my slash route, which I don't want. I want to create a new API for that. So what I can do is I can go in pages API folder, and similar to hello.js, I can copy that same file and I will rename it to webhook.js. Okay, so we have this new API called Webhook, and I'm going to use this to resend and receive messages from Telegram. Okay, so that is that. And now how do I actually set it up, right? So first of all, I only want to allow post request here. So if request dot method equals post, then we will do something. Otherwise I will simply say, okay, this method is not allowed. So for that I can say, I mean, I can simply say, I can set the necessary headers, and I think I can say like 500 and say method not allowed. Okay, and if this is here, let's say console.log uh, body request.body and res.status 200 dot send. Okay, so sending this response is necessary when we are dealing with webhooks. So it actually like if you do not send the response, the Telegram will keep pinging you, so that if it has missed a packet, then why not try to get the response for that particular message again, right? So Telegram will keep pinging you if you do not send this response in very soon. Okay, so try to send this response as soon as possible. Now once we have this done, let's try to I think I will just set the webhook again. So for that, what we can do is let's go to Thunder client, and let's go, and in the request we have this. I'm going to change the URL, and I will change it to API slash webhook. So this is the API URL that I have, and if I click on send, okay, so the webhook was set. Now let's see what will happen here. When I write a new message, hello, I'm in here. This is getting console logged. That is, we have message. This is the message ID from me, and this is the chat ID and all things. Okay, so we have this, and now we can use this thing to create commands, right? So let's try to reply something using the bot. What we can do is first of all, let's try to get the chat ID. So first thing I can say is const chat ID. This will be equals to request dot body dot I think it was, let's see, request dot body dot message dot no okay, message dot chat dot id. So this is the chat id, and also I want to get the text of this message. So let's say const text is equals to request dot body dot I think it was message dot I want to get this text, right? So I will just say dot text. So now I can console.log separately, chat id, chat id, and console.log text comma text. So I think that works, and now we can remove this, right? Let's try to send some messages. Hello code enzyme. So, and we can see this is the chat id and this is the text. Okay, so let's try to make an echo bot. Whatever I am sending, the bot will like mimic me and send the same text there. So how can we do that? First of all, I think I am going to make some commands, like what are the commands that I want to have. First will be like one should be the start command, then there should be also a help command, right? Someone should be able to ask for help, and okay, then we can improvise, like we can make something else also. But for whatever we do, we will need at least one function to send messages, right? So I think I am going to make utils when this is not necessary, but I think why not? Let's just create a new function, a new folder here, and in here I am going to call it telegram.js, and here I will try to write a new function called send message to send messages to the user, right? So given a chat id, so we have two things, one is the text and one is the message to send, and one is the chat id, and using this I want to send a message. Okay, so what is how do we send message? If you go to the telegram bot, this here, I should be able to find something called send message. So yeah, if we have the chat id and we have the text, then I should be able to send message using this API. Okay, so let's create a global variable, I think like a main variable. So let's call it telegram API URL, and this I can make it something like I think I will just copy it from here. Where is the Thunder client? Yeah, so I think I can copy this URL here, and okay, I don't really need till this point, and here I will replace it with a variable that is in my environment variable. So I can say process.env dot what was, I think it was bot token only, but still let's try to copy it and here. Okay, so we have this now. So we have telegram API URL. This is the base URL basically, and now let's create a function. Obviously it will be async function to send messages, and this will take in two parameters. One is the chat id and the text that we want to send, right? So the new URL will be equals to simply um, telegram API URL, and we already have a slash here. I think I prefer it this way, so let's just keep it like that. And then we want to use this suffix in the suffix, right? So this will give me the sending URL to send the message. Now I want to just, I can make a post request using Axios, or we can also use the fetch API. Doesn't really matter, but yeah, let's keep everything under a try catch block, so in case any error occurs we should be able to see it. So let's say console.log error occurred while sending message to telegram user. This is the error, and I don't really want to do anything, but yeah, Okay, so we have this. Now we want to create a response. We can use Axios also, we can use node fetch also, both will work. And so let's use fetch API only. So await fetch, we want to fetch the URL, and now in here, uh, obviously the method should be equals to the post method, because we are going to send some body here. And in the headers, what do we want in the headers? The content type should be application JSON, right? So content type, it is application JSON. Okay, so now we do have the headers, and once we have the headers, I will send it in the body, and this body should have the chat ID and the text with me. Okay, and since I'm using the uh, fetch API, I will put it inside a JSON.stringify. Okay, so here I'm going to use send a chat ID. So this chat ID is equals to chat ID, and next is this text. So this text is going to be equals to the text. Okay, so we have this. Now once this is done, I should also check if the response was okay or not. Okay, so if not, response dot okay, so that means I was not able to send the message, right? So console.log, I think failed to send message to Telegram user. And also I should print the error that occurred, right? So await response dot text. So I think that completes this function. And now I should also export this function, right? So export, yeah. So I want to use this function in this webhook here. So let's import it from utils telegram message. I hope it works. And now in this text, I am going to send this text only backwards. Okay. Okay, so this was not an async function, so let's actually make it async. So now I am able to send this text. Okay, let's see. Whatever I write to my bot, it will give me, I think some error occurred. Message text is empty. Okay, why is that? Text was here. I forgot to okay, my bad. I should have also sent the chat ID here, and now it should work. So the bot is replying. Okay, ping ping. And now we can actually create commands, like if I can say, like if my text is equals to ping, or like this ping. Okay, so I want to reply with a pong message. So this text will be equals to slash pong, or maybe I can remove the slash for now. And in the else case, it will behave normally like this, like an echo bot. So if I say ping, the bot should say pong, and if I say something else like hello bot, so it is going to repeat whatever I am saying. So that was the basic tutorial of ping pong and echo bot using the Telegram webhooks. So in the next video, we will see how we can go further and create actual commands. So for now, I will just say like, okay, completed ping pong and echo bot using webhooks. Okay, so yeah, so that is that, and now in the next video we will continue from here. So if you were able to follow along and you learned something new, kindly like this video and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you.